Good morning, good morning, good morning, BB. How's it going?
Good morning. It's going well. How you doing today?
Good, doing good.
Good, good. Good morning, everybody, on the 128th consecutive show of the In This Season podcast. How's everything on your end, Mom?
It's good. It's good. I'm
Yeah.
glad to see you here, and I'm gonna have to talk about you this morning with the phone thing.
What?
Can I talk about you?
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna turn on this light. It's a little dark in here, so I'm gonna turn it on for us.
Okay.
But
So
you go
y'all,
ahead.
I'm wait, because you know what? Let's get it people time to come in, because everybody got
Okay.
to hear this story. So
Okay.
go and do
Sounds
your
good.
thing.
All right.
Um,
1 second.
excuse me. So we're here, you guys, for day 128. Brandon's gonna get his light on, his lighting perfected over there
There we go. A little better.
on this beautiful Friday. Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's beautiful Friday. Looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day, y'all. So what will you do with this day? Let's see who's in the Brenda Davis. Good
Hey,
morning, everyone. I like good everything. I love when you say that. Good everything.
good everything.
Yeah, it's all good. All good. So, Brenda, you got anything from yesterday to bring us?
From yesterday, you see, you got something, don't you? I already know you got something. What do you want to say about my phone? I'm gonna just get right into it.
So, Brandon and I went to lunch yesterday, and I was asking him about his phone because for you, if you've been listening, you know that he's been without a phone now for about
Couple
three, four
days.
days. Yeah, a couple
Hmm.
days. So I said, "Okay, are you excited about getting your? How did I ask you? Do you want? How are you excited about getting your phone back?" He said, "Mm-mm, I don't want it back." And he literally, it felt really heavy. Like I felt this heaviness coming from him. He didn't want the phone back, y'all. Woo!
Nope.
Imagine that.
I was like, I'm
Ima-
I'm I'm slick ready to just say no. Y'all just give me the old Nokia, the brick phone. I'll be good. Remember the big ones?
How about a
First,
house phone?
huh?
How about a house phone?
That sound kind of good to me. I
Yeah,
liked being unreachable. It felt normal. The first day or so was a little anxious, a little upsetting, like, oh man, I'm missing this, I'm missing that. And then after a while, I was like, but I'm gaining this.
yeah, yeah. It's almost like it brings you, you realize how much it pulls from you. I have noticed how it really creates unnecessary conversations.
Yeah, what's
It
going
really
on?
does.
It
So,
stopped out for us on a little bit. It froze up
okay,
on me.
sorry. Yeah, I said it really creates unnecessary conversations. I think people, we
Hmm.
get in the car and that's an indication for whatever reason we think that's time to make phone calls.
Right.
Right. And back in the day, we talked face to face, on the porch with grandmama and them, and
And them.
you talked, and I don't know if the phone really allows us to communicate effectively. I think it's just just unnecessary. A lot of it, not all, is a lot of unnecessary conversations going on.
That's true. That's
Trying to
true.
fill a void, trying to fill a space. That's what we do. We talk on the cell phone now, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. But I had a good day. It was, another long, some would say arduous day, but it was good. I have a jujitsu class that I teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11. So I taught that class. Um, got to see my mother. I got to drop off a dryer to some family friends and see some people I hadn't seen in a really long time. A young girl that's like a little sister to me who's now 14. Um, Shout out
she
to
slick
Brooklyn.
was my first grandchild, wasn't she, Brandon?
Yeah, she really was. She really was.
Yeah.
So she was good practice for Quetzali and Tupac. But it was
Yeah.
good to see her. And from there, went and did some of my contract work, and that ended up being really well. So when I got there, Mom, to the contract work, um, the young woman or the sister, the friend of Maricela, was there, and she was actually meeting with another contractor for pressure washing, She was out there by herself in the hood. So when I pulled up, it was good because I got to kind of be there to, be a lookout for her. And I told her going forward, if you got a meet out here, um, hit me up. I'll just come and park and sit in the car across the street and make sure everything's on the up and up. You know what I mean? And so I felt good to serve that function, and did a little hard work myself and came on home. So it was good. It was good. It was
Good.
good.
All right. All right. Well, let's get ready to rock into it. I had my I told you, Brandon, about my first. I pulled up at Walmart yesterday, y'all, on Highway 64, and guess what your girl pulled up to? Didn't even ask. The first parking space. I recorded about it. I did a video right there because I was like, guess what, y'all? Highway 64 in the busiest part of the day. I pulled right up. Didn't even think about it because it wasn't raining. So I don't care about walking. I need to actually walk. So I don't care about getting the parking space right there. But pulled up. And then for me, it was just a reminder to go big in my asking, in my prayers. Like parking space, that's nothing to me.
Mm. Like
That's nothing.
yesterday's what the 100%.
Mhm.
Like make your
Mhm.
prayers 100%. Ask for everything.
Mm,
You know,
yeah. We
ask
serve
for
a
everything.
big God. Man, that's what I was like.
Not no not
Let's
no
go parking space.
99% guy. We 100 guy.
Yeah, yeah. So
So
so yep, I got that first parking space yesterday, y'all. How about them apples?
how about them apples, man? First part. I'm gonna get mine today. I'm gonna go somewhere just to go. See if I can get the first parking spot. If I get number two, I'm gonna be like, hey, all right, Lord. No, we ain't no 99 kind of.
Hey, hey, you get number two, there was a nail in number one.
Hey, there you go. That's a good way to look at it, Mom. See, I don't need
There's a
see,
nail in number one.
see, see. That's why I need you. I appreciate it. Well, y'all, if you haven't gotten the book, uh, Daily Motivations for African American Success, mine's a little tatted up because of this bird, this parrot I got up here who's sitting on the top of my screen. Ate up my book, y'all. So he didn't know how to. She didn't know how to read and wanted a little bit of this. So she's sitting right here front and center. Listen, I think she's getting used to the show herself. So happy when I came in, and she instantly came down and went toward the book. So I think she understands what we're doing. These animals are so smart, y'all.
So smart.
So
So smart.
smart. It's a little trippy. I feel like I'm being watched, but you know how it goes. So, but again, if you haven't gotten this book and you've been with us for a while, a short time, a good time, either way, you should get this book. It's a very easy to come by book. You can get on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere where you get your best selling books. That's where you can get it. It's cheap, and I don't mean cheap as far as like not having value, because the value is in my opinion priceless. It's what you do with it. But that's one way to show that you're 100% to yourself, is to go ahead and get the book. That's one way to show that you're really going toward your goals, is to get the book, to put some skin in the game, to spend a little bit of money towards something that you really want, not just something that you just desire, but something that is fulfilling for you, success, something that can bleed over into other parts of your life, character development. And that's what this book does. So again, it's Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro. This book will help you focus on the thoughts, attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals. In 365 short, powerful for each day of the year, Dennis Kimbro, the author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. Each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Edelman, Whoopi Goldberg, Charlene Hunter Galt, Bill Cosby, Carl Rowan, Mother Hale, Reverend Leon Sullivan, and hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every day of the year. What it teaches will last you a lifetime. So again, get the book. Um, it's way more valuable than it costs, but it takes you getting the book and participating with us every day to really see that. And I think in the most impactful way, because you're not only being able to review it yourself, but here you get to bounce these ideas off of me, my mother, the chat room, and all the other people that participate. So thank y'all very much for being here. Mom, over to you.
I'm good. I'm ready to just rock steady.
Hmm?
All right. Just really,
Let's do
let's
it.
jump right into it.
All right, all right. Got my orders, y'all. Let's see. On June 7th, the title is Standing Room Only. Standing Room Only. And our quote of the day from the distinguished African American is from Hattie McDaniel, who's a film star. And she said, I did what I had to do. Something simple. I did what I had to do! Exclamation mark. I did what I had to do! Exclamation mark. So, and the passage goes as follows. What are we going to do when we achieve our current goals? Latch on to another dream, of course. What do mountain climbers do when they reach the top of a mountain? Find another mountain. So often, people firmly established at the height of success look back on their time of struggle as the happiest years of their life. In other words, winning is fun. That's the purpose of the game. But so is playing. An old man enjoyed a fall day as he sat on a park bench. He seemed almost unaware of a little boy playing in the leaves nearby. The infant, less than a year old, was trying desperately to stand on his own as his mother watched. The child would look at the old man, try to stand, only to discover that his method wasn't working. After a few seconds, he would tumble over in the leaves with a surprised look on his face, and the old man smiled. The scene played again and again, with a few tears and determination added. While his mother was busy chatting with a neighbor, others watched and wondered, why doesn't that old man help him? Why doesn't he make it easier for the little boy? Then came a brief whisper from his elderly companion. You can make it, son. And make it he did. The young child planted his sturdy little legs, finally took his hands off the ground, and with a wobbly effort, he stood. He was delighted with himself. The old man reached out a gnarled hand to hold the dimpled one stretching forward. A wise man said, sometimes he helps best who only stays nearby and lets growth occur. Sometimes he helps best who only
Mm,
stays nearby and lets growth occur. Interesting. And
yeah.
the affirmation of the day that we read three times, one for me, one for you, and one for the individual you're going to invite to this barbecue tomorrow, to this show tomorrow. We trust that you will. Let us know in the chat if you've invited somebody today and who you're going to invite tomorrow. But we read it three times, and the affirmation goes, stay focused on your goal and enjoy the journey. Stay focused on your goal and enjoy the journey.
Mm.
And last time, stay focused on your goal and enjoy the journey. What you got for that one, Mama? What you think?
My favorite part, and I'm just gonna stay here today on this one. A wise man said, "Sometimes he helps best who only stays nearby and lets growth occur." We kind of talked about that a few days ago.
We talked about that yesterday.
Yesterday,
You and
right?
me.
Yeah, we did. Okay, yeah, yeah, we did. Okay, but we did on the show too, right?
We did. We did.
Yeah. So, standing room only. I did what I had to do. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna give it over to you. I get it, but this part here sometimes that's where I am because I feel like I was in this place because I talked about giving Brandon the generational curse of being too helpful. And that may sound a little odd to people, but I really feel we were handed over this justice in not learning how to balance life in the way of making sure that we take care of ourselves first, and that is a spiritual thing as well. Being able to discern when to choose you without feeling guilty. And the standing room only is for you, stand to me, like, stand up for yourself. Stand up and walk if that's what you're
Hmm.
learning to do. Stand up and talk. Be more like Tupac did in the store, right? With the hey, don't put that in there like that. How many grown people would have stood there and just been
What do you
just
say?
don't the groceries, when he told the young man, don't put the groceries in there like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
how
why are you
many
looking
of
at
us,
me?
oh yeah, when he asked, well, don't be looking at me like that, right? How many of us, and he will grow to learn, but and to learn to be more, have more discernment, but I don't care to take that away, because I wish I had that.
Right.
Looking back, I wish I didn't bring those words home with me, right? And I didn't keep them inside. That I
Hmm.
knew when to say yes and no, but I also knew when to stand up for myself. Stand up, and this little kid had to learn to walk. But there's many more things he will have to learn. And it also reminded me, Brandon, of just a man. And not all, I'm not saying all men would have did the same thing, but remember talking about, as we were talking about the fatherless, the power of fathers, I guess,
Hmm.
and how how different in its pure healthy form a man um takes care of a child, like at the playground, the mother in the pure healthy form. Maybe not like in this instance, because mother was just kind of talking to friends, right? And
Hmm.
not, she may even miss the moment, right? Talking. But at a playground, if the child is going up a slide, the father is going to say, go, go, go. The mother, in most cases, is going to kind of want to stand behind, so that if the child falls, she can make sure that it does not hurt. The man is going to say, go on, go up, son, go up there, do what you got to
Walk
do.
with you.
Right. And so, this is why the balance is needed. And then once it's done, what did the man say? He responded. He gave the child his kudos, which will be helpful, in because that's going to help the child, because these children are smart. Like, they may not have the knowledge of something, right? Like the stove, but they eventually get it. It's like Kasali said to you the day when you put your phone on the charger that also tells the time. I keep hearing her words, because there was a time Dolly has seen that thing over and over and over again. She's seen me put my phone on it. But for this particular day, she saw her daddy put it on there, and she said, "Daddy, that charges your phone and tell the time? Oh, that's cool." So she's putting it together. She's learning. Standing room only for those things that you need to grow through, deal with, and grow through. She processed it enough to now be able to say, ask the question, just to make sure that the power in that. Daddy, charge your phone and tell the time. That thing's been there since Zolly was a baby, you know. But she's at that stage now where she can put it together and know that it's something.
Right.
It's something. And enough to ask the question, just to confirm, you know, she said, "Oh, that's cool." you know. And you can tell by that phrase, "That's cool." To us, it's just a thing.
Right.
To her young mind,
It's novel.
man, that's cool, right? So that's my part today. Sometimes he helps best who sometimes he helps best who only stays nearby and lets growth occur. Can you stay nearby, even to yourself, and especially to others, while you grow, while you wait for that first parking space, or the second or the third, while you wait to get your finances together, while you wait on the right job, while doing something, right? While you wait, let it be standing room only. And that standing room only is for you because your goals are so big and your aim, right? So there's a many ways that we can go with this. And it says here, I did what I had to do. Are you willing to do what you got to do? Or have you? And do you even know what you got to do? Because what you should do is what you ought to do. And what you ought to do is what you should do, right? All right, Brandon, over to you.
Thank you, Mom. I appreciate that. That's some good insights. I like that last line where it says a wise man said, because it took me a second to get it because it was phrased in an interesting way. It says sometimes he helps best who only stays nearby and lets growth occur. And speaking of my daughter, Itzali, it reminds me of how she treats her little brother Tupac sometimes. Especially early on, where he would be learning on how to do things, and she would just want to do it for him, right? She'd be like, "Oh no, okay, it's like this, it's like this," or she would almost speak for him, right? And I had to tell her, if you don't move out of the way, he won't learn it the way that he needs to learn it. You're disabling his ability to learn by doing it for him. And I think, not saying that shouldn't love him or shouldn't have attention to him or shouldn't help him, but there's a limit to that help where it becomes enabling. I won't say dysfunction because they're children, but enabling a different outcome than what's wanted. And so I think for us, that happens as well with people that we love, or communities that we love, or things that we have attachments to, or feel some type of responsibility for. Sometimes we can overdo it, where we help people at every space, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we know that they should be doing this themselves, when especially if they have the ability, right? It's different if you're handicapped or you have some mental, it's not proper to say retardation, but some type of incapacity mentally, right? And they can't perform something. That's different. But if you have a well-minded, able-bodied individual who has the same chances as you have, and at every turn they need a helping hand, right? They need you to do something for them. And you know the difference between what people can do for themselves and what they can't do. Like if someone's put in a position and now they're like, man, I need help with this. I need help with this. Can you help me with this? Can you do this for me? Do that for me. Um, and they put themselves in that position, especially after advice from other people, like, hey, here's a way out. Here's a way that you can help yourself. And they haven't taken those routes because it might be uncharted for them. It might be uncomfortable for them. It might be something new for them. It might be a challenge. Now let's look at those words: challenge, uncharted, new, uncomfortable. Those are all things that we learned about even in this book that were part and parcel to growth, right? Something challenging, something uncomfortable. Like my mother shares a story about my knees as a child, that I had knee pains. But when the doctor said I was growing, I understood it differently. My perspective was different. So I didn't see it as pain. I saw it as growing pains. And that helped me deal with it, right? Likewise, you're going to be uncomfortable for some type of growth. And I think what it is we live in such a hedonistic um, a hedonistic society, socially, to where we're always seeking pleasure, desire, and comfort. Right? That's what hedonist is. Um, at the cost of other things. At the detriment of other things like character building, perseverance, how to work through something that might be challenging. And so I think we start to feed each other comfort, right? We start to give each other treats, and even though
Mm.
that child might want a treat, he needs an apple, needs a vegetable, right? And they might not want it. It might not be as sweet, but and to that child, it's like, why is my parent not giving me what I want? You're my parent. You're supposed to feed me. I want that. It's sweet. It tastes good. That's a treat. And the parent's like, nah, you really need this carrot right now. You really need this broccoli right now, right? So you can
Brandon,
still,
can I give you some kudos for a minute?
sure, sure, sure.
So with the babies, y'all, and I know y'all say they bring them up, but I'm telling you, these babies will help you learn a lot. And of course, Tupac's different, and he's gonna push you to the limit on getting what
On
he
the
wants,
treats.
right?
Yeah,
With the
yeah,
sweets. But at the same time, if you if you explain to him, and you have to with him more times than not, right? It's not good for you, right? And he wants to be strong. So I'll take it back to, you won't be strong mentally. Like I have this conversation with, you won't be strong mentally, son. I'll point. You won't be strong like this if you just eat sugar, sugar, sugar. You can't. It's okay sometimes, but that cannot be your go-to. So I'll have it in his little language, and he gets it. He gets it after a while, but he still won't come back and try it, right? Kitsali, she'll tell you, no, that's not good for me. They'll even tell you, I can't watch grown-up TV. Like if they come here and something's on, and it's not usually something that they really cannot watch, but it is a grown-up thing. Zali got to the point where she told me she couldn't eat the Honey Nut Cheerios anymore. And I didn't know that it had become a thing. She said, "No, Grandma, I can't eat those anymore." So to me, what that says is they are listening, and they are carrying what their parents are teaching them out in the world. And how beautiful to see that at age 5 and 3, and in different ways. Because again, Tupac, he gonna do what he gonna do. He's gonna try to get it. But most all times they ask for water. Even when you say, "Hey, would you like a little?" You, and like Brandon said, you want to give them just a little bit of juice because you want them to be whatever. But they will say, especially Tupac with the water, "No, I want water," because they've gotten accustomed to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what does that say to us? If we raise them the way that you want them to go, they might go away for a little bit, but they will come back. And sometimes they don't even go away. And I'll say not everybody has this, because there's some people who were adopted or whatever. But if you would listen to the guidance of a parent who really shows that they will ride or die for you, like they will ride to die, even if you would obey, even when you don't understand, you will be able to have standing room only in your life. Because the one thing a parent's not going to tell you is the wrong way to go. And I'm talking about that parent who is there, present in their life and in yours, right? So you will have standing room only. And so I just want to say that, Brandon, again, I can't tell y'all enough what a wonderful job y'all are doing. Our little neighbor over here was over, and Tupac, we were talking, and Tupac said, "Excuse me," and he wanted to say something, and she was just floored. She's almost
Oh yeah.
80 years old, that he said, "Excuse me." He said, "Excuse me," because that's what he's being taught. And not just being taught, they expect him to do it. And so he knows that expectation. Did it take him a minute to get it? Yes. Did Brandon and Stella stand by and wait for him to stand up in that area? Yeah. How? By reminding him, just as the man did, "Son, we're talking. Say
Mm-hmm.
excuse me,"
Mm-hmm.
right? And so
Mm-hmm.
to a point where he got it. And then once you get it, you will have standing room only. And then it's time to move to the next mountain, because there's always going to be a mountain to climb. No matter what mountain you're on now, And guess what? You can't climb another mountain from a mountain. You got to go down and climb it. You can't just climb a mountain from that mountain unless you're going to keep going up. And pretty soon you got to come down, right? So I just wanted to stop and say that, and I'll get it all out while I messed up your thunder. I also
No.
remember how Zolly, on the day of her graduation, Tupac had wasted some stuff on him, water, I think it was. And with her pretty little graduation dress, she gets up like a little mommy and she goes over with her dress and she's wiping him dry with her, with her dress. The dress doesn't mean anything to her. Drying her brother off did. And last thing, and I'll turn it back over to you. I remember when Tupac, for whatever reason, I think just because he was younger and felt like Zolly was getting more attention, he would just want to fight his sister, right? And one day I told her, I said, Zolly, you're gonna have to hit him back. You're gonna have to hit him back. She said, Grandma, that's my brother. I can't hit him.
Mm.
But one day, y'all, she got him and she got him good. And it was so unexpected. He comes running out of the room, Grandma, Zolly, you hit me. And Zolly came out the room and she did just like this. She said, Yes, I did. I mean, y'all, with the hand on there, yes, I did. And she
Bro.
walked right back in the room. She got tired. She got tired of his standing room only. And she stood up in her own time. She said, okay, this is my brother, but he finna get it today. you know? And what did he do? He come running out the room. And I was like, oh well. what you want grandma to do? And I forgot this part. I was trying to keep from laughing. And Zolly goes, Grandma, are you laughing? I was trying to, hold it in. She
She
said,
can
Grandma,
see it.
yeah, are you laughing? So y'all this is life. This is real life. This is real life. Real life. And you gotta stand up. You gotta stand up and it's okay to have standing room only for yourself sometimes. And stop thinking that people are gonna rescue you,
Yeah.
right? From every little thing or situation. Because maybe that situation, you need to look at how you are living it.
And while you're
You know,
there,
and while you're there, take money. If you keep needing money from people, what are you doing? How can we sit down and help you, first of all, so that you don't keep, and I'm not talking about people who just get in situations, different, because I've been there. I've been there, right? But you need to keep trying to stand up until you get it. I'm not going to keep coming over there. What if the man would have went over every time he fell, pick him back up, or get his hands and help him walk, right? It's
mm,
okay to do sometime, but it's okay. It's necessary
hmm
sometimes to just let them fall and get up again.
Mom, I'll say this: my kids, especially Tupac, they actually are kind of elated when they fall. I've made falling a good thing, not a thing that they do on purpose, but when it happens, it's not a big shock to them. You might have heard me say this. I'll say, Pac, what do you do when you fall down? What does he say?
Get
Get
back
back
up.
up again, Daddy. So if he falls down, I'll be kind of excited, like, hey, what do you do when you fall down? He's like, get back up again. I'm like, that's my strong boy, and he'll get up and he'll put his hands up like this. You know, so and that bleeds into my other child, Kitsali, who has more stronger emotions, um, and so when she falls, she has to remember, she'll get a little sad for a little bit. Then I say, you remember what we do when we fall down? And she'll say, get back up again, like kind of wondering. I affirm that, yes, get back up, sweetie. And so now it's when they fall, they look up like, this is a chance for me to get back up again. Not I just fell.
Fail.
Not
Mm-hmm.
looking, backwards. They're saying, oh, this is a chance for me to get back up again. And so I think it's important, and about the food choices, Mom. They actually help us grow food, And so I think that was critical in changing, or I won't say changing, but molding their their mind, and kind of pre or priming their minds to accept nutrition, because they had a hand in planting the seeds. So at the end of the growing season last year, by the end of it, the children were able at yeah, 3 and 5, or no, they were 2 and 4, were able to go pick the tomatoes, pick the green. They got their little baskets. Pick the tomatoes, the greens, the cucumbers, the peppers. Put them all in their baskets, and would bring them up to us. Right. So they were actually involved in seeding, watering, checking the plants, taking little beetles off of the plants, of the Japanese beetles that eat away at different things, and feed those beetles to the chickens. Get the eggs from the chickens, so they're able to see this full circle of life. Buried some of the chickens that passed away, so now they understand death in a healthy way. To the point to where when we eat chicken, one of the kids is asking me, "Is this Goldie? Is this one of our chickens, or is this the other chicken?" While she's eating it. Whereas I remember me, Mom. You remember my experience when I figured out that we was eating a real chicken. I was like, "What?" I saw the whole chicken instead of in pieces. I didn't see just the wing or the leg. I saw this whole chicken. you know, and Mama sitting there beating it, tenderizing it, washing it. And I'm like, is that a real? That's a real chicken. Like we
He
really
cried.
eat
He
it.
told me that I'd killed. I was actually cutting it up to fry it. So back then, you guys, we bought a whole chicken. We didn't buy it, in pieces, and you had to cut it up yourself. Well, I guess you didn't have to, but that's what we did. And so when Brandon, he had never seen me do the process. He just saw the end result. All right. Oh, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
He saw the end result, and he before. And so, but the day that he walked in and he saw me in the kitchen cutting the chicken up, he cried saying I had killed the chicken. And I'm like, boy, I done killed the chicken many times, in that sense. I hadn't killed it, but to him in his young mind, and he cried. He cried. And on the flip side of that, Brandon, with just like kids bring on, um, we bring on, be mindful, stand up, have standing room only, and be mindful of the things you have brought forward from your childhood, right? The things that keep you from falling and getting back up. Maybe you've fallen and you're staying down. It says, what are we going to do when we achieve our current goals? Latch on to another dream, of course.
Mm-hmm.
What do mountain climbers do when they reach the top of a mountain? Find another mountain. But here it goes. So often, people firmly established at the height of success look back on their time of struggle as the happiest years of their life. In other words, winning is fun. That's the purpose of the game. But so is playing. So is playing. And be mindful of the little boy who keeps trying to stand up, and the mom is talking with friends. She's missing the playing of the game. She's missing the opportunity to see her son. Oh, look at the bird. Her son fall down and get back up. A stranger had to encourage this young man. You can do it. You can do it, son. He says, you can make it, son. So there's a lot of things in this. Y'all look at that beautiful bird. Oh, wow. I got to come see my grandchild, my grandbird,
Your grandbird. Yeah,
my
she's a
grandbird.
good girl.
So
She
that's
got
all I
that sharp
have,
beak
Brandon.
though. I'm hoping she don't bite my ear, but she got a sharp beak. She'll be all right. She's a sweetheart.
Oh,
She's a
man.
sweetheart.
Did you say y'all name? Y'all gave her a name?
Yeah, we call it little bird in Spanish, pajarita. So we just call it
Paja.
paja or
Paja.
pajarita. Hmm.
Pajarita. Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So Miss Brenda says, I'm taking this one as, let me put it out there. I'm taking this one as don't rescue. Let them find their way. Sometimes that is the best way to learn. You're
Mm.
exactly right. Y'all remember how you used to tell kids don't touch the stove or something like that. And then once they touch it, you ain't got to tell them no more. It's a wrap. Because that now they know what, and some will listen and just won't. and how every kid wants to play with the pots and the pans. And if you just let them touch and feel things, pretty soon they get it. They don't go back. Miss Arlene shared that with me. She was like, just move everything that, you don't want them to break or to hurt themselves. And then gradually bring those things back out to introduce them. But for the most part, they need the experience. And what do we do? No, stop, don't. No, stop, don't. But they just need the experience
And maybe we should
of
be
the touch
saying,
and the feel and all of that.
no, don't stop, learn,
Learn, right, right,
right?
right. Because, every child, if y'all been, I don't know a child that I have not been around that didn't want to play with, go up under there and get those pots and those pans. And you got all these toys over here. They want the pots and the pans. They want the remote control. They want I remember Rodney saying, kids want what they see you with. So get that. They want what they see the adults in their lives or around them with. Y'all know we were a kid at one point, and we learned through and from the adults that were around us. Not just how to play with the pots and the pans, but
Hmm.
how to be, how to live life. More than you know, you've brought those things forward. Like I said, I gave Brandon the generational curse of just thinking he should be everybody's Captain Save a Lot. Captain Save yourself, right? So that's all I have, Brandon, as we approach 7:42 here, 45 here.
Okay, sounds good.
There he
The bird's like, all
goes.
right, the show is over. Well, thank y'all so much for rocking with us today. We even got some animals tuning in to the show today. So thank you for being here, Harika. She really I'm serious. I think she likes the show because she'll stand up on my screen and look down at the screen and watch us talking. They're very social animals and enjoy conversation. Yep, there she goes. So thank y'all again for rocking with us. I hope y'all invited a person, an animal, your cat, your puppy, to watch this with you. Today's title was Standing Room Only. Standing Room Only. And our quote came from Hattie, what was her name? Hattie McDaniel, the film
McDaniel.
star, who said, I did what I had to do, exclamation mark. Mama, I noticed you put the exclamation mark down there. I did what I had to do. And after, hmm?
Brandon, wait.
What? What? What?
Hold on, hold on. I gotta read this. I forgot.
Okay,
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
y'all
You got it.
listen. A
You got
person who compulsively says yes to helping opportunities is highly motivated by some sort of need. Let me read it again. A person who compulsively says yes to helping opportunities is highly motivated by some sort of need. Often the compulsive helper is motivated by a need to feel loved and special, or by a need to have purpose and significance in life. These needs are focused inward in order to create personality security. I'm gonna look into that more, but it's called compulsive helping behavior. If y'all want to do your own research on it. All right. So it's attachment style and instrumental helping behavior. Right. So when we overly help, and I realized that about myself quite a while ago, that it was more about a need that I needed to have fulfilled through others.
it.
That's why now, as Trent said the other day, he'll pull you out, dry you out, put the clothes on. I'm gonna get you out. Put your clothes on. Let's go. Dry yourself off because you got to do something. You can't keep coming to the barbecue just want to eat. No. So pretty soon we're gonna be like, hey, bring something.
Mm-hmm.
Bring a loaf of bread or something.
Yep.
I mean, and that's just keeping it real. But some of you won't. You'll let them keep coming and talk about them to everybody else. But like
Mm.
Tupac, hey, don't put that in there like that. Don't put my grandmama stuff in there like that. At 3 years old. So when you if you are this person who realizes or expect people to always be the standing room for you, right? Or if you're the person who does it, let me say that. If you're the person who's always wanting to stand up for people who haven't quite learned how stand up for them, not with them. Meaning they're always down. They're falling and they won't get back up. So a person who compulsively says yes, and remember, we gotta know when to say yes and when to say no. And compulsively is never good, right? Says yes to helping opportunities is highly motivated by some sort of need. What is it that you think you are lacking that makes you always want to go pull somebody up rather than help them up?
Hmm.
That you want to stand them up. They fall, you stand them up again. Often the compulsive helper is motivated by a need to feel loved and special, or by a need to have purpose and significance in their life. So God can't even bless that kind of helping. You know why? Because it's an egotistic self. You're doing it for yourself to fulfill a need for you, not for them. And then when you close the gaps in you, when you sew that thing up, right? Whatever that need is, then you're not going to be compulsive in your yeses and your nos. People ain't going to be able to run game on you because
Hmm.
you understand that it's more than winning. It's about playing. So you can't run game over here. Now you can come over here and we can play the game together, but you can't come over here and run game. There's a difference. I'll put this out there in the on the Facebook this show page because this is worthy of more contemplation, right?
Yeah.
Compulsive helping behavior. Look it up.
And I wonder if there's a if there's a an opposite that, like compulsive asking for help.
Mm,
Compulsive needers in a sense, and what that comes from maybe having something to where they may not have felt supported as a child, or didn't feel support, and they need to feel support in some kind of way. I don't know. That's just interesting. There has to be, if there's a compulsive yes, then there has to be a compulsive help in a sense. Yes to the help, and
mm.
somebody has to be asking at every instance. And I wonder, are those the same people that the compulsive yes person is helping? Is it the same person that always needs, or the same group of people? And maybe they're in a self-perpetuating situation where
Right.
they're
Mm.
they're basically feeding each other's vice.
Agency addiction or the white knight syndrome.
Mm,
That's what it's called. Agency addiction or the white knight syndrome. It is defined as a need to rescue others through helping. Okay, so that's the what
yeah,
does it
the
mean when
White
we
Knight is
always
like,
want to help? Okay, so that's a different one, you guys. I'm sorry, I read the wrong one. Let me see here. Let me go back. I'll look it up because I don't want to
okay,
keep us, and I'll
all
put
right,
it out there, you guys. Um, there it is. When you always need help. Dependent personality disorder,
that sounds right.
DPD.
That
Sorry.
sounds right.
So that's another one I'll have to look up for because that's a different way of looking at the one that's always wanting to give the help. So dependent personality disorder is a mental health condition that involves an excessive need to be taken care of by others. Whoa, Brandon, you opened up a door here. A person with DPD relies on people close to them for their emotional or physical needs. Others may describe them as needy or clingy. All right, you guys, I'm gonna put it out there, but you have to do your own homework on it. All
Yeah,
right.
because there had to be an opposite. There had to be a if you got if you got an addict, you got a drug dealer somewhere. If you got a drug dealer, you got an addict. So the other side of that pathology, um, it has to be there somewhere. So I figure we should find it. So thank you, Mom,
All
for
right.
doing that. And let's explore that another time. But y'all, we already went through that title, standing room only. We went through the passage, gave you our insights. Thank you guys for participating in the chat. If you can, before I get to this affirmation, please go to the YouTube channel. You might be there now. You might be on the Facebook Live, but go to the YouTube channel before this is all over, or after the show, right after the show is over. like, subscribe, turn on notifications so that you're notified when we put something up or when we're going live. And that lets the algorithm know that this is the type of content that you want to see, not just from us, but that's the type of content that AI, the algorithm, basically will send you to be more motivated, more encouraged. And we'll talk more about that. I want to talk more about that tomorrow, about just what media, social media, and things are doing to push us into certain directions. Okay, just remind me about that tomorrow. I think it's some very interesting stuff. But the affirmation for today that we'll read 3 times, one for me, one for you, and one for the person you're going to invite to the show tomorrow, is stay focused on your goal and enjoy the journey. Stay focused on your goal and enjoy the journey. Enjoy it, you know. You can be focused and have a good time at the same time, you know. So stay focused and enjoy the journey. And stay focused on your goals, excuse me, and enjoy the journey. That's all we have today. We'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place, 7 a.m. And on the End This Season podcast, you can watch on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and maybe even Instagram. We'll get the Instagram Live back up and running. But thank y'all again. We'll see y'all then. Take care. Peace.
Take care. Peace.